We always don't ask about tax time.
Taxes, then.
Let's do it.
William, what's up?
Listen, I remember you, William. Don't talk to me like I owe you something.
I didn't say that. Hey, boy, can I get something, please?
No! When we was younger.
Yeah,
I
but
think I forgot.
I'm homeless, boy.
So what that got to do with me? I ain't do that.
Oh,
Take care of my kids.
Can I get a picture of my
The
sister?
ones that ain't.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Monoprice, back with a new video. Before I get started, about the shovel. At the same time, I want to talk to y'all about this whole Tracy Morgan not helping his bully situation. Righty, so real talk. Will I help a bully or my former bully? If I felt the want to, yes. But overall, how Tracy Morgan handled this situation is honestly, it's perfectly fine to me, because Tracy Morgan is not obligated to help that man, especially if he was a bully. So, because people say forgiveness is for you, which is true. It's definitely true. But another way people can look at things is, this is how I look at it. Tracy Morgan, with everything he's been through, he ended up being successful. And that guy, even at the age they're at now, ended up homeless. And I saw a comment in the comment section that said, people change, people grow up, why are you holding on to a grudge and stuff like that. And my theory is, if this guy changed, then how you end up homeless with nobody around him at this age? Real talk, it just sounds like the dude is an overall crappy person. He was crappy as a child, and he ended up as a crappy adult, and now he's homeless. Those actions show that, in my opinion. You know, so it is what it is at this point. That's a way Tracy Morgan could have looked at it, because how you end up homeless if you wasn't such a crappy person? If you was being a good person, working, doing whatever you're supposed to do, then how you end up homeless with nobody around you?
When we was younger.
Yeah, but
I think I forgot.
I'm homeless, boy.
So what that got to do with me? I ain't do that.
Where's your family? Where's your significant other? Or have you still been being a piece of junk to everybody else around you, to where everybody left you hanging? And that's exactly what happened, in my opinion. So, no. Tracy Morgan don't owe that dude anything whatsoever. You know, so everything is, I'm trying to make me a path, because I look clumsy out here, which I am kind of clumsy. I gotta get some salt too. But no, Tracy Morgan owes that man nothing, because that man lived his own life, been through his own struggles, take care of his own family, friends.
Take care of my kids.
Can I get a picture of my sister?
The ones that ain't.
And I'm pretty sure Tracy Morgan lived way more of a life than me. And I can look at some of the things I've been through helping people, and seeing how dirty people are, and seeing how people who so-called love you in the end don't really care about you. They only care about your resources and what you can do for them. So it gets to a certain point where, especially in his position, being as rich as he is, you don't trust nobody, you don't want to help nobody, because you didn't help too much. So when you get, of all things, a childhood bully to come around asking for help after you've given so much to the people who betrayed you, and you expect me to help you? That ain't happening.
First of all, I don't know why so many people believe that rich people, people who are successful, owe you any of their money. Oh, you don't do nothing for the... You don't have to do nothing for nobody. Especially if you're a man. If you're a grown man, you should not expect another man to do anything for you. Nothing wrong with what Busta Rhymes did. I mean, Tracy.
That's another way to look at it. You got to look at what Tracy Morgan been through. Don't sit there and worry about the bully. The bully was the bad guy. Now y'all want to make him a victim just because he's homeless. Keep that in mind. The bully was the bad guy, not Tracy Morgan.
What is also stated is that Morgan was a victim of bullying pretty bad when he was younger, assuming because he was known to be slightly overweight. And ironically, when he was a cast member on SNL, Morgan would even claim he was also not treated well by some of his castmates, in which he would open up about it in his book, I Am the New Black. He would go on to share in the book, "They never treated me well. There were people that treated me beautifully like Will Ferrell and Carlin Quinn and Molly Shannon. I love them. But Sherry O'Terry and Chris Kattan, I never cared for them either. F them. I can remember those two, especially those two people, treating me like the invisible guy. Now look where they at. Sherry O'Terry, she can't even get arrested." It appears that Morgan remains consistent in feeling of never forgetting how people treated him along the way, despite of where they have ended up now.
But y'all trying to demonize Tracy Morgan. Y'all need to stop that. Tracy Morgan is successful. Stop demonizing that man just because he's successful. Success should not bring survivor's guilt. Success should not come with an obligation to so-called help take care of a bunch of people who didn't help me get there.
Appears to have bothered many is that Tracy himself grew up in public housing and, according to reports, was on welfare just before his career took off. So many would think he would be able to empathize for this man's current position.
Just because I'm black and successful does not mean I owe the hood anything. What do I owe black people? I don't owe y'all anything if y'all didn't help me get nowhere. So that's the problem. Just because we share the same skin complexion, don't mean I owe you anything. And this world is really screwed up with everybody trying to still identify with skin color politics. I'm tired of the skin color politics. They don't get me nowhere. Majority of the people who I got stolen from or robbed by look like me. So what are we talking about? So in the end, depending on how you look at it, you want to sit there and you can run with the moral clause if a Christian and all that. Whatever religion you want to run with, you can run with any type of moral clause from a religion to make your argument. Anybody can do that. But look at it from that man's point of view. He was bullied. He don't owe that man anything.
He was younger.
Yeah, but
I think I forgot.
I'm homeless, boy.
If he felt it in his heart to help, he will. He obviously didn't. He looked at the guy a certain way. Obviously the guy talked to him a certain way. That's why the interaction went the way it did. So it is what it is. But I personally wouldn't have handled the situation that way. But at the same time, I wouldn't have helped him either. So yeah, I'm gonna say at the same time, yeah, I definitely wouldn't help him. Can't expect me to sit there and so-called help my oppressors, because that's pretty much what a bully is at the childhood age, if you want to get specific. Like, come on now. Bullying me just because of how I look or what I wear or whatever. Like I said, if people want to hold grudges, you can make your opinion about what it means and why they shouldn't. But at the same time, who are you to determine that they shouldn't? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of the people who tell you, or a lot of people who tell you not to hold grudges, definitely still got grudges they holding against other people. Let me shift. Yeah, so overall, y'all can make the argument about letting stuff from the past go, being a better person, walk away being a bigger man. And I said in a few videos ago, walking away and being a bigger man always do not feel good internally. So when it comes to walking away and being a bigger man, men do it by choice. When the situation pretty much it's not worth the outcome, you know, the results. If it's something dire and it's not worth it, men will walk away from that. But if it's something to where it's petty, now I see it's a lot of men who are giving in to the petty as opposed to being a bigger man. And I used to dislike that idea because, in my opinion, it shows a lack of maturity, being petty. But now I get it, because the petty side won't ever stop being petty. The immature side won't stop being petty. The classless side won't stop being petty. So it takes people to use fire against fire. So start utilizing their own tools against them. So that's why I start seeing people who got means utilizing petty tactics. The reason being, they're using the same tactics as the people down here using on them as well. And like I said, for a while I didn't like it, but I get it now, because eventually it becomes nerve-wracking. It becomes tiring. It becomes tiring when seems like an entire generation or an entire group is aiming towards you using certain tactics, and at the same time telling you that you're too rich or you're too mature to use those same tactics, and at the same time they won't stop using them against you. They won't stop coming around you with the pettiness, but at the same time they're still telling you that you're too mature, you're too rich, or you're too this, to stoop down to their level. We get tired of living up here while everybody keeps stooping down to this level against us. So that's the problem with now people who are up here in maturity and everything are stooping to the pettiness level because too many people are being petty towards them. You know, I lost all hope in the black community doing any better. As a whole, we're done. So now when I start looking at certain business people certain business practice I don't favor, I get it now. There's certain business people who I look at me like, you don't need to stoop to that level to even, you don't have to do none of that, you're too rich for that. But now I get it, because the poor class or the degenerate class or every other class try to use people's success and maturity and status against them to say that you're too up here to stoop down here, but I'm gonna keep on stooping down here on you. And that's what it is. Shame us for using the same tactics that they keep using. And people are fed up with it. So that's why it's no longer working. That's why you see rich people not caring no more about trying to help a lot of the underdeveloped and things of that nature. That's why you see a lot of black people from the black community no longer caring about trying to uplift the black community, because the black community have never cared about them and always trying to use petty tactics and attacks against us whenever we having good times or bad times, and at the same time keep telling us that we can't fight back or use any type of tactics against them because it's beneath us. People up here are tired of it. Now, the only reason I ain't using my plow because it ain't that much snow. I didn't know what to expect. And my plow is electric and I haven't charged it because I personally just didn't prepare for the snow. So, but I layered up, came out here to do this. So, but overall, I get it now. Why a lot of stuff happened the way it does. And you know, it sucks. It really do. But honestly, believe the black community as a whole will never improve or get to a level where we're doing well as a whole. For starters, none of us can work together. Too much selfishness. Everybody want to look like the millionaire. Everybody want to look rich instead of being rich and just chilling. We've seen so many black empires crumble because of greed. And just throughout the years, everything I see and how so many move, I just lost faith in myself. So it is what it is. But that's my opinion on this whole Tracy Morgan not helping his bully. Honestly, he has every right to think the way he thinks, feel the way he feels, say what he said, and operate the way he operates. That man's been through whatever he's been through, and in his life, that's enough for him. So he has every right and obligation to respond how he sees fit. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that man's response at all. You do not have to help your bully. Like I said, for Tracy Morgan, if he wanted to so-called let it go, move on and do whatever, on a moral standpoint, if he wanted to, yes, he can. But does he have to? No, he doesn't. He only has to according to a lot of people's moral perspective that they try to place upon others. Your morals don't apply to everybody because everybody don't have your same system of belief. So, until next time, traveling in the snow, this is me, Master 5. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all have a great day. Peace.